Hey guys, Script here with another video. Saw this article, and it's been talked about on Twitter and stuff too, about these sort of new revelations about the Acolyte. I have other videos about the Acolyte. I had this sinking feeling that something was going to happen within the Acolyte that kind of negatively impacts George Lucas's prequel trilogy and by extension original trilogy pertaining to the importance of Palpatine and everything. And this article here kind of, it doesn't 100% confirm that, but it sure makes me wonder. Some very interesting new details in one of Lucasfilm's upcoming Star Wars shows, The Acolyte, have come to light. The first footage of the show's debut during Star Wars Celebration London back in April, and while the teaser wasn't officially released, a leaked version of the promo did make the rounds back in October. And guys, I've seen it. It's not super exciting. I don't know. To me, it was just a lot of kind of whatever. It showed you like High Republic looking Jedi, and there was really very little there showing you much. So the video was quickly removed, but details and descriptions followed, and there was some confusion about certain characters and the parts they appeared to play in the story, with some actors seemingly playing different roles than earlier reports had indicated. Now we may know why. Though there are no major reveals here, beware potential spoilers. Scooper Daniel Richtman has shared some new info in the series, and he claims that both Amandla, is that her name, Amandla Stenberg and Manny Jacinto will play two different characters. So two of the main actors in the show are playing two different characters. So out of the two of them, there's four characters, okay? It's said that Stenberg will play Force-sensitive twins, both of Sith origin. One will remain with the Sith, while the other will be taken by and trained by the Jedi. And the plot is then said to follow the evil sister as she becomes a Sith assassin who's tasked with taking out Carrie-Anne Moss's character, a Jedi Master. Because this formidable warrior is known to defeat her enemies without using her lightsaber, as in Carrie-Anne Moss's Jedi character, the assassin vows to learn martial arts to kill Moss's character using her hand-to-hand skill without the use of her laser sword. Now, that to me is not actually good. And I'll tell you why. So, and this is why I don't like double-bladed lightsabers for good characters and stuff like that. The Sith, the bad guys in stories, they're always looking for some sort of an advantage, right? They're always looking for some sort of cheat code or way to get more done. And so when Darth Maul had the double-bladed lightsaber, it felt right because it was like he's trying to have an even extra big weapon because his weapon is like what's so important to him. Whereas with the Jedi, it's more about, defense and meditation and all those things. And we get that so beautifully in the in the Phantom Menace when Qui-Gon sits and meditates during the fight when they get blocked off by those barriers. Whereas Darth Maul's just like angry and, So this whole idea that she's some honorable Sith that's gonna fight her with hand-to-hand combat. Why? Just if she doesn't want to use her lightsaber, good for you. I'm using mine because I'm a Sith. I don't care. I just want you dead. So this is a little kind of weird, and I wonder, is this another one of these things where they're kind of blurring the lines between good and bad? And well, she's not really bad. She just misunderstood. Look, she has enough character and gumption to go fight her hand-to-hand combat because she doesn't use a lightsaber. Like, I don't know that I think that's a good idea, and it doesn't feel very Sith-y. It doesn't feel very bad guy-like in general, and we have precedent, as I already just said, we have precedent for this. We don't have as many details about Jacinto's characters, but Rickman says he will play both versions of his own character, one good personality and one bad. So that just means he's playing one character so he's probably, he will play both versions of his own character. That means he's playing one character. That's not playing two people. Okay, so only the main chick is playing two people. He's playing one guy, and he's probably got a good personality and bad personality because he's probably presenting himself one way to one group of people and presenting him another way to another group of people. Anyway, okay, so that was a little off. Showrunner Leslie Headland has previously said the Acolyte will dedicate a lot of screen time to the antagonists, and star Daphne Keane later let slip that the series will actually focus on the Sith infiltrating the Jedi. And see, this is where it gets stupid for me and kind of falls into my previous prediction that I think they're going to screw things up here. So this does take place 100 years before the prequels. I think it is 100 years now. There was some major discrepancies with some of the interviews. I have a video about this where one of them said 200 years, one of them said 100 years. It's like they didn't even really know or something, or like some of the people involved with the project didn't even really know. So, okay, I think now we're at this stage, we know. It's set 100 years before the prequel movies, and it's kind of an explanation of how the Sith infiltrated the Jedi. What? So the Sith were already infiltrating the Jedi before Palpatine came along? So basically Palpatine isn't as, like, slick and awesome as we thought he was then? He needed help from these Sith that were there before him, setting the stage for him? Is that what this means? It's kind of an explanation of how the Sith infiltrated the Jedi. We have an explanation of how the Sith infiltrated the Jedi. Palpatine is a master manipulator. That's, you can say all you want about shooting lightning, and you can say all you want about his force abilities and stuff, and his he can read people's minds and all that stuff. You can say all of that, but ultimately, his biggest asset as far as a bad guy, it was his ability to manipulate people, and what he did to Anakin and what he did to the Jedi Order, and how he just completely just sucker jobbed everybody in the Senate and all these people. He turned something that was once it was beautiful and was a beacon of light for whatever 1,000 years, 1,000 generations. He just turned it into this corrupt mess through primarily just manipulating people. Are we now going to take some of that away because they're going to kind of give an explanation of how the Sith infiltrated the Jedi? So it's not enough that it was just this extremely powerful, crazy Sith Lord? That's not enough? It's a Sith-led story which has never been done before. It's been really fun to film. The cast is amazing. The director and crew are just lovely. The whole experience is wonderful. Okay, so she's just being honest here. Kind of an explanation of Sith infiltrated the Jedi. Now, if this is 100 years before the prequels, Plagueis is alive, and I'm really scared they're going to do something that's going to ruin him and ruin that whole story. As I've said a million times, Plagueis should have tied in the entire Skywalker saga. Unfortunately, they didn't go that route, even though it kind of felt that way with Snoke, that they were kind of going that route, but they didn't. Now, if it's 100 years before the prequels, he's around. So, because I think he lived to be like 180 or something like that, and he would have been killed... You guys correct me if I'm wrong. Something like 50, no, not even, like 30 years before Phantom Menace, he's killed by Palpatine. Something like that. So he's alive 100 years before the Phantom Menace. For sure. So he's not just alive, he's like a Sith Lord. So is he going to be in this? Are they going to ruin him? Oh, I'm so scared they're going to ruin him. This is one area where I really wanted them to leave it alone because they're not doing anything right. Oh, man. The series is described as a mystery thriller that will take viewers into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers. In an emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era, a former Padawan reunites with their Jedi Master to investigate a series of crimes, but the forces they confront are more sinister than they ever anticipated. I don't know, guys. I mean, if this is true, what she's saying here, I'm super nervous that they're going to make a major blunder here. One, with Plagueis, and two, of course, with just diminishing Palpatine and his impact. And it's just, if they do that, it's just falling in line with everything that they're doing, right? Every single thing they put out that impacts George Lucas's 6 films impacts them negatively. And I know everybody loves Rogue One, but there's problems with Rogue One. Why did they think the Death Star was so big when they'd already, like, in A New Hope, and they already knew how, like, they'd seen it and stuff. Like, why are they acting all surprised? And why there's so many little things that kind of diminish the OT. Even Han Solo's movie, right? How did he get his name? Oh, some random stupid officer said, "Oh, I'm going to call you Han Solo."
What's your name, son?
Han.
What? Who are your people?
I don't have people. I'm alone.
Solo. Approved.
You're like, oh, thanks. That's great. That's super awesome. That's not even actually his name. I thought it was a cool name. Now it's just some rando guy gave it to him. It's like, what? Like, this is like, so, because he was running solo. Like, literally, that, like, so things like that diminish, the way we felt about George's films. And I feel like this is what they're going to do again now. They're going to do something that makes it easier for Palpatine to do what he did. And that's not good. We don't want that. We don't want this. They need to stay away from anything George Lucas did in those 6 movies. And they just can't help themselves. They have to have a little impact on everything. Whether it's storylines taking place in between trilogies or this or that, the other thing. And it just diminishes. And I'm really nervous about this, guys. It's going to... I have a feeling it's just going to be a total disaster. This is going to be a total disaster. And they're doing the twins thing, which is, again, it's like the Solo twins. And it's like... But they're going to do it with this... both of Sith origin, so like Sith. The other thing about this too and this is what I didn't like about Palpatine and the whole thing in the sequels. It was bad enough that he even came back at all. But then you're saying that he's basically like, he's procreating in his 80s. And like, it doesn't fit right. Like when people talk about, these are monks, right? You got like the dark side monks and you got the light side monks. And just thinking about them like procreating and having families is a little bit off-putting. I don't totally mind it. I mean, I don't really mind it when it's Leia and Han, because Leia never really was that interested in the Force, never was interested in becoming a Jedi. Now, obviously, there's EU stuff and people have expanded on that, and of course, the sloppy Leia Jedi nonsense in the sequel trilogy, but she was never that into it, so her having a family with Han made more sense. So this whole idea that, like, there's some Sith out there knocking boots and having twins, like Sith origin twins, I mean, unless it's like they were twins and then the Sith grabbed them up or something, but it's like, I don't know, Sith origin twins, it's like, guys, I don't know, I'm nervous. I think they're going to ruin Palpatine. I think they're going to probably ruin Plagueis, because I have no hope that they do anything properly, because most of them aren't even fans of Star Wars. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Do you think that, like, I'm just, like, reaching way too far here and getting way too worked up? Or do you really think, like, what she said here probably is accurate and they're going to do something stupid that's going to diminish Palpatine? Do you even care? Does anyone care about this show? Is anyone going to watch this show? And what are your thoughts on it? Like, where do you think this is going? Are you excited for it? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section as usual. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Check out any of my other content on my channel. And if you do like this content, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. And have yourselves a really good day.